We go smurfing all up in your smurf. And Smurfy, that ain't no smurf. On this smurf of Watch Smurf!
Hi, everyone. Welcome to WatchBots, the podcast about cartoons and feeling like a Smurf, like a real natural Smurf. This is Ben. I'm joined by Shaylin.
Hello.
So friendly. And Dave.
A Smurfy greetings to you, Ben.
A Smurfy Smurf, and a Smurf.
Smurf you.
So longtime listeners will not be surprised to hear this, but I am sick, and it sucks. I fucking hate it.
Well, you know, November hit, so you're going to be sick for the next 4 months.
That's right. It's not Movember, it's Sickvember, more like.
Totally.
More Sickvember.
Yeah.
Yes.
The circumstances of my illness.
Low health-vember.
There we go. Okay, I like that. Yeah. The circumstances of my illness are not consequential, but I did find myself this morning in a grocery store parking lot nursing some granola, some fiber supplements, and some stomach medicine. So it's good. I'm on the down curve of life here.
I'm sorry for laughing. I'm just picturing you in the parking lot eating granola. It's a funny mental image.
Yeah, it's real funny.
It's a giant tub of Metamucil. Just like any way you can put it in, just like snorting it. Oh God.
Nope, I got the phylum husks. So big pills, but that's fine. It's fine.
And you take those anally, correct?
No, I saw those.
That's why they're not working, Ben.
Yeah. And I thought, no.
Really making it worse.
No, I got to go to work today. But like, I remember being sick as a kid, despite feeling sick was fun, right? Because you could stay home, you watch TV.
Watch The Price is Right.
That's right. You play Nintendo. Getting
Watch
sick as
Days
an
of Our
adult,
Lives.
it just sucks. Fucking blows.
It does.
It does.
If I'm getting sick these days, like, it better be the flu, because I need, like, a total excuse to lay in bed and not do anything. Like, you get these nagging little colds, or, like, whatever the fuck you're going through, Ben. Like, it sucks, but you can't, like, take a day of work off because you're constipated.
I mean, maybe you can't?
Well, I won't. Ben, did you take a day off of work?
No, I thought about it. I have gone to work. Like, I've been feeling under the weather for the past few days, and I have gone to work, and all days I've been like, oh man, like I really don't feel good. Like I should go home, but things just keep popping up, and then it's like, oh, well, it's 3:30. I guess I'm sticking the day out. And it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. We're powering through. That's
good.
If nothing else, we're persistent here.
It's also hard to be sick when you have children, like we all do.
Yeah.
And, you know, you just want to rest. You want to lay on the couch. You don't want to talk, but your kids are healthy as horses and they're just running around and you got to take care of them. There is nothing worse than being sick and your kids aren't.
I actually have a very distinct memory. The first movie our kid ever watched, he was not quite 2. And
it was Mad Max Fury Road.
Ben and I both had the stomach flu to the point where we could not get off the couch without like vomiting or having diarrhea. And we were like, hey, dude, you want to watch a movie on TV? And he was just delighted. And we were just like, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God. But you know what? All's well that end well. We healed up.
We didn't die, yeah.
His brain did not melt entirely. He can still speak and function and worked out.
Indeed.
Well, and that was the last time you showed him A Clockwork Orange.
Well, Malcolm McDowell's a scary man.
That's true.
Yeah.
Speaking of Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah, speaking of him, we're watching the Smurfs, people.
Yeah, he played Gargamel.
Yeah. That's it.
Dave, have you watched The Mandalorian yet? Are you caught up?
No,
Oh.
I've not. I know. I'm sorry.
We'll
sorry.
We'll avoid spoilers then.
I know them all. Just
no, it's good. It's fun. We can stick to non-spoiler stuff though. Shaylin and I did watch the first part of the Imagineering story yesterday.
Last night, yeah.
How is it?
It's really good. So it's directed, and it's the production company of one of Walt Disney's like original co-creators. So that one of the guys who worked with him. So she had a lot of access, and they do a really good job of talking to the main Imagineers, and they show a lot of behind the scenes footage, and they've done a really good job of cleaning that footage up. So you've got stuff like the Imagineering shop from like 1960 and Disneyland in the 60s, and they've cleaned the hell out of this footage. So it's bright, it's vibrant.
It looks awesome.
You see them
Cool.
like putting the animatronics together. There's a whole interview with one of the Imagineers inside Pirates of the Caribbean. So the lights are on, but the music's off. So he's just walking around and like the mouths are all clicking and stuff. It was great.
I also really like that they have older interviews that were like audio interviews with Imagineers that either are too old to participate now or they have like passed away.
Yep.
And they cut it in and clean up the audio in such a way so they're like narrating stuff, and it feels like they were interviewed for this particular special even though they weren't, but it's really inclusive of like all of their narratives.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
Yep. Yeah, it was good. It's worth a watch. So Disney Plus, it's fine. Hopefully your account didn't get hacked.
Yeah.
Big epidemic. Russians, you know what I mean? It's rough stuff.
Clean it up, Iger. Come on.
Get your shit together, Bob Iger.
He doesn't know what he's doing over there.
Sitting over there in Burbank on his golden throne. I see you. I see you, Iger.
You know who I see?
Who's that?
Tom the Imagineer. The only person I've ever seen with a Disneyland or Disney World like name badge that doesn't have a job or a location that he's from. And every time they started interviewing the guy, he was just like, I found him off-putting. I didn't care for Tom the Imagineer.
Did you find him off-putting because he appeared to be having a good time?
I don't know. There's something about him I didn't trust.
Uh-huh.
Tom the Imagineer from Parts Unknown.
Yeah.
That's correct. He's without origin, and that is troubling to me.
So he's the Joker of the Imagineer world.
Yeah. Possible incel sighting. Hashtag incel.
Mm-hmm.
From one incel, though, to another.
Good transition.
This week we're talking about the Smurfs. And
Papa Smurf.
I mean, I guess all of them are, but Shaylin,
Yes,
you made this pick.
I sure did.
Why?
The Smurfs. Well, so it's really one of those shows that everyone has seen. We needed to talk about it. People on social media have called for it. Guest hosts have called for it.
The masses have knocked down the front door.
They're
It was
clamoring
time-
for Smurfs.
It was time for us to talk about the Smurfs, and I decided, you know what? We talk about, as a society, like, oh, Smurfette, the only lady Smurf, how did she get in there? And everyone forgets, or maybe they never knew, uneducated swine. She has an origin story. Gargamel made her. And you know what? The power of good overpowers evil in this episode, even though the results are kind of a disaster in both cases. But I think that it's important for the world to know, where did Smurfette come from? Because people say, oh, where'd she come from? There's a whole fucking episode about it, idiot.
You
Watch the cartoon.
Really, really upset about this, and you're doing a very good job of alienating our four listeners.
Well, I hope that by us talking about it, people will be more educated and know the history.
You've got a point, though, because like I can't go to Target without hearing people going, man, where did Smurfette come from? I go to the DMV. Hey, you know Smurfette? Where did Smurfette come from? It's just like you go on Reddit, you go on 8chan, it's all over the place.
At the deli counter trying to get my cold cuts, and people are just fucking talking about Smurfette's lack of origin story. I'm like, you fucking morons. You know, get your turkey and go watch Smurfette episode 121.
Watch the product.
Alternatively,
numbnuts.
they can just subscribe to our podcast and know the history from us.
So they could spend 21 minutes watching the show, or they could spend approximately 6 times that hearing us talk about, like, shitting.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Or not
that's the
shitting.
right move.
Or not shitting, either way,
Yeah.
as the case may be. So the Smurfs, the brainchild of a man named Peyo. And this has always fascinated me, even as a child. And, like, it takes some major sack to go by one name,
That's true.
you know?
Sting.
Oh, yeah.
Share.
And, like,
Bono.
Pele or Trump or The Edge, you know? Like,
Or Dave.
see, that doesn't work quite as well because Peyo wasn't even this guy's real name, you know?
What?
Yeah. So he's a Belgian cartoonist whose name I will not even remotely attempt to pronounce, but
Yeah, don't do that.
yeah, hashtag canceled. But yeah, I mean, Belgians, of course, known for their legendary horniness, which I think explains a lot about what we're about to talk about here.
And their love of blue.
Yeah, damn it, that plays so well.
Mm-hmm.
And now I know what joke will run into the ground for the next little bit here. So the first Smurf appeared in 1958. Of course, do you guys know the strip it showed up in?
No.
Oh, that would be the flute with 6 holes.
I see.
So getting started early. They got their own strip in 1959. And even before the Smurfs were merchandised, or even before they were licensed, these things, like, they were merchandised. So they had the little figures in Europe and plush, and, like, people knew them from the comic strip. So, like, they had a built-in toy base before this thing even hit the airwaves, right?
Yeah.
So pretty cool. I'm going to take a quick pause here. I was doing my research about the Smurfs, and there's a lot of talk about the society that they build and, you know, how you find a Smurf and things like that. But there's a whole paragraph in Wikipedia called Smurf Economy.
Okay.
I'm going to read this one for you. The Smurfs community generally takes the form of a cooperative, sharing, and kind environment based on the principle that each Smurf has something he or she is good at and thus contributes it to Smurf society as he or she can. In return, each Smurf appears to be given their necessities of life, from housing and clothes to food, without using any money in exchange. So I think it's safe to say that Bernie Sanders would be the candidate of the Smurf society.
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders is Papa Smurf.
Is he short? Is he Smurf size?
You 3 apples high? I don't know.
I think he's more than 3 apples high.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I read something great on that same Wikipedia article. It was a little lower. A writer by the name of Mark Schmidt, he wrote a parody article in like 1998 or 97 or something like that. Mm-hmm. In that article, again, a parody article, he cited the Smurfs as being an example of the impact of socialism on Europe.
Sure.
So again, it's just a funny, like, bullshit article. 13 years later, 2011, a woman named Kate Craik, I believe. My writing is terrible here. She responded to Mark Schmidt's parody article, taking it very seriously. And the article warned people against creating false allegories out of texts like the Smurfs. This woman is the biggest wet blanket I have ever heard of. Like, you took a parody article about Smurfs, completely misread it, and you're warning people about creating allegories, false allegories out of this. What the fuck is your problem?
It's like people who read Jonathan Swift originally,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, repent, repent.
You idiots, we can't be eating babies.
If they lampooned Kate Craik in Mad Magazine, do you know what they would call her?
What?
Kate Craik. Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, fine. I appreciate Mad Magazine.
I was appreciating
This is now
it.
a Mad Magazine podcast or a Mad TV podcast.
Either works.
Yeah, I'm
I
sure.
would do
I'm
Mad
sure,
TV podcast.
I'm sure they both hold up very well.
Phil Lamar. That was my I love that guy.
That's right. Shout out Phil.
Yeah. A great voice actor, Shailen. No, nothing. Okay.
No. he played Gargamel.
No, he
In the movie.
didn't.
He played the Green Lantern in the Green Lantern cartoon from the early 2000s.
Of course, everyone's favorite.
Yes.
Yes, that cartoon that I've definitely watched many times.
That's right.
It was a good one.
Did you guys have the Smurf toys? Any of them?
I had a few.
Not that I recall.
We had a couple of the stuffed animals, and we had a bunch of the little figurines. But most notably, we had this weird talking Smurf thing. So it was hard plastic.
Right.
And you pull the string in the back, and from the top lip up was a separate piece that would flip up and down to make it look like its mouth was moving.
Ugh.
And it would just go clack, 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 clack. Like the plastic made this horrible noise, and it'd be like, let's smurf some Smurf berries, Smurfs. But it would be like,
it would talk?
Yeah, it was
Yeah, I don't like that.
It would talk while it was like a weird plastic clicking. And let me tell you the nightmares that thing gave me.
Okay.
The more you describe your home as a child with all the toys around it, it just feels like it sounds like a museum of horrors. Just these shelves filled with these insane, creepy ass toys. The Smurf one's kind of taking the cake for me right now.
Stairways that lead to nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We had
the Shaylin Winchester.
So we had a built-in computer desk thing in our family room.
Yep.
And it had 3 pull-out toy box drawer things that were enormous, right? So all the toys went in there. They were not on display. They were not out for people to look at. With the exception of the Legos, they were the toys were not visible unless we were actively using the toys or searching for toys. So yeah, nightmares. All of them in a bucket.
Did you have Smurf toys, Ben?
No, not at all.
My
Because that
grandmother
was too
had
cool.
some.
Your grandmother had some? Did she get them direct from Belgium?
I don't know. She had little tiny ones, and she also had some California raisin toys.
Yes, I had the saxophone raisin.
We've talked about these raisins.
Yeah, and I don't know. There was a whole drawer in her kitchen that had these toys, and it was like a tiny version of Shaylin's childhood home, I guess, just horrifying things.
So therefore, one that Shaylin would fit in now.
Exactly. Yes. Shaylin, did you pick this because you're short?
Not
And you're a
directly.
Smurf?
Didn't hurt.
Yeah, it fits.
So anyway, the history of the Smurfs.
Keep going.
We always come back. So the rights were bought in 1976. Hanna-Barbera was brought in. Series came to NBC in 1981. In stark contrast to a lot of the shows we talk about, where there's it's kind of like a sperm cell, right? Like the first season, it's bulbous. It's got a lot of episodes. Second, third seasons, there's a long tail. You can draw the picture in your mind. It looks like a sperm cell.
I'm with you.
All right. This one, huge success. 9 seasons, over 250 episodes.
Holy crap.
Was syndicated.
So a huge load of Smurfs.
Yeah, exactly. A huge Smurf of Smurfs. And the show itself went off the air in 1989, but Smurfs live on. There were the movies. I have not seen either of the new movies. I don't know if either of you have.
Have not.
No, I have not.
Yeah, I guess not really suited for adults. But one interesting note. So they bring Peo back into, he's dead, so they didn't bring his corpse, but they brought the character of Peo into the first movie as a researcher who's researching the Smurfs.
Huh.
So they try to play it off that the Smurfs are real creatures and Peo heart of a child.
So he's not a comic strip artist. He's just a Jane Goodall researching these Smurfs. That's fun.
Yeah,
I
just a crazy dreamer.
The only way for him to tell the world that Smurfs exist was by fictionalizing them.
Mm-hmm.
Because truly, truth is stranger than fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Congo.
I like the idea that they brought Peo in, Weekend at Bernie style. Just had his body kind of strung up, and the Smurfs were kind of holding him up and propping him up in different places. Peo, hail a taxi. Yeah.
It's a movie for children, Dave.
Right.
They don't know he's dead.
Weekend at Bernie's is a movie for children.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
Bernie Lomax.
It was it was made for kids, Shaylin.
That doesn't explain the stripper finding the drugs in his pocket.
She wasn't a stripper.
And those were Sour Patch Kids.
She was a woman of the night, and Dave is
she's
correct.
a prostitute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My mistake.
Well, you didn't have to go there.
Speaking of women of the night, Smurfette. No, I'm sorry. That's what she was designed for, but I don't want to take it too far. I'm sorry, listeners. I went way over the edge.
Hashtag cancel.
So the episode that we watched It's called The Smurfette. Now, the Daily Motion link that's in the show notes listed as the first episode. That is kind of sort of true, right? It's the first episode that was produced, but it was the 21st episode that aired, which is a little weird because Smurfette is a central character.
Yeah.
She was in 6 episodes after the Smurfette before they showed this one. So, like, imagine watching that as a kid in, like, sequential order and then seeing the origin story afterwards. Oh, no thanks. That would mess me up.
Yeah, continuity error.
Yeah.
Big time film flub.
I was always really accepting of weird stuff like that as a kid. It didn't bother me.
Not me, because I'm a psychopath. So
I'll say, like, I mean, this is jumping ahead a little bit. When they first showed Smurfette, I was like, who the fuck is this? This isn't the babe that I remembered.
Indeed.
What, Ben? Excuse me?
Excuse me?
How dare you?
I'm sorry.
Talk about a woman that way, a Smurf.
This cartoon did
woman that way.
strange things to me.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Fucking pervert.
So the episode was written by 4 industry vets. So we've got Dwayne Poole, Tom Swale, Len Jansen, and Chuck Menville. Not Chuck Mangione from King of the Hill and music fame, but Chuck Menville. Aired on November 21st, 1981. So almost 38 years to the day here.
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I could go for a contextual Smurfing right now.
That's right. I should have re-recorded. Oh well. Ooh, what were we seeing? It's contextual feeling. I didn't think of that at all. I'm sure that will come across very well too. So top movies. Number 1
Fix it in post.
Was the Smurfs. Yeah, we'll fix it in post. We're going to go backwards here. Number 3, Arthur with Dudley Moore.
All right.
In week 19 at the box office.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I'm amazed that movie did as well as it did.
Why?
I don't know.
What about the new Arthur with Russell Brand?
Didn't see that one.
Not as big a success, I think.
What about Arthur the Aardvark by Mark Brown?
A huge success. Biggest Arthur of all.
Mm-hmm.
Great success.
Who's your favorite Arthur?
The one in Sword in the Stone.
Okay.
Oh, you took mine. I already said it. Arthur the Aardvark.
I've got a 1 and a 1A.
Okay.
1 is, of course, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. And 1A is, this is a really deep pull. So former professional wrestler Diamond Dallas Page has a set of yoga tapes. And he has
Arthur.
He has a guy named Arthur who he was a really big fat guy and he did yoga and he got in shape and now he does the tapes and he seems like a jovial guy. So hashtag my favorite Arthur.
Does it go by Art or Arthur?
Arthur.
Oh man, that's bold.
Yeah.
You're leaning into that name.
Yeah.
That's good for him. Good for Arthur.
You might as well. Yeah. So good on him. So number 2 movie at the box office. Again, we're working backwards here. Raiders of the Lost Ark in week 24.
Hell yeah.
1981 clearly had nothing going on.
No, it had Raiders of the Lost Ark going on that never
For 6
gets
months.
old.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like even Avengers Endgame, the biggest movie of all time, was dethroned. Like, how long? 16 weeks? That's fucking insane.
It would not have been dethroned as fast as it was if it wasn't for contracts to get it on demand and through cable.
Yeah, that's sort of the thing, because I think what this raises is, like, I remember as a kid going to see movies a bunch of times, and now there's just not that drive to do it, right? Because it's going to be in your home
in like 6 weeks.
6 weeks anyway.
Yeah.
So.
That's true, yeah.
But, so you got Raiders of the Lost Ark, you got Arthur, 2 titans.
What was dethroned those two, Ben?
Of course, Time Bandits.
What?
Yes.
The Terry Gilliam fantasy time travel movie. So,
which was in theaters for approximately 9 weeks.
At this point, I don't have it right in front of me, but that was a fairly well-received movie. Just sort of stands out.
Weird.
When we watched I watched the Daily Motion version, and I was astonished at the song because I had never heard this song before.
Yeah. I always remembered the la 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 la.
So I'm going to play both versions of the song, right? The first version is going to be the version that we heard to start with. We'll just do a little bit.
far from here, some 2,000 miles away. That's where they live and work and play.
All right, that's enough. So that song is called The Smurfy Way. And as it turns out, it's a good name.
Is that by the Carpenters?
It was. Yeah, Karen.
I thought it was John Denver.
It was Engelbert Humperdinck, but
That's it.
it was the song for the first run episode. So as these aired on NBC, you heard The Smurfy Way. Now, I think the song that we're all familiar with is the other one, which I'll play in a second. That's the syndicated version, which is Smurfs Adventures, which was the show recut. But you'll probably remember this one more fondly. So that's the La La song.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I don't know. I mean, the Smurfy Way, the La La song, I don't know.
I prefer the one that I'm familiar with.
I texted Ben last night and I said, you have to, I sent him the link to the La 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 song. And I said, please play this because the other one is abhorrent. And then, so I was reviewing my text message this morning. Like, I woke up and I was like, oh, did I really say abhorrent? Like, did that old song, like, really make me boil boil my blood? Like, but so I was a little embarrassed, but then I heard it again just as you played it, Ben, and it sucks. It's the worst.
It's not.
It does suck.
It's really bad. It's bad.
So I stand by that abhorrent comment. It sucks.
Stand by your take.
Stand by your take.
That's right. It's a scorcher. So we open up, as many of these episodes do, with Gargamel, and Gargamel he's mad. He's up in his parapet in this castle with the cat.
He's being mean to the cat.
He's a dickhead.
There's happiness in my forest, and I hate it.
Does not like happiness. But he's got the cat Azrael with him. And what's your read on the cat? Evil, not evil?
In this episode, he reads on the evil side.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought of him as tragically misdirected. Right? Like
always? Like, you were 5 years old, like, Dad, I think that cat is tragically misdirected.
Like Elizabeth Berkley in Showgirls.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Showgirls.
Like Renfield from Bram Stoker's Dracula.
I think that Azrael was just a cat trying to make Gargamel happy, right? Like, hated the Smurfs because Gargamel hated the Smurfs.
Okay.
I thought there was like a little abuse thing going on, like Gargamel.
Oh, yeah.
Just hates on Azrael, and Azrael like just through like, I don't know, just years of abuse, just like, all right, this is the world I know, and I have to follow Gargamel's, orders. I also, there was a little like Gargamel, Azrael is equivalent to the Grinch and Max from The Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah, I had that too. This all has a very Grinchy sort of feel to it. And maybe it's just the railing against happiness.
For sure.
Well, it's that, and then it's the master-animal relationship. Well, that sounded weird, Dave.
The old MAR.
Mm-hmm.
The old MAR. Now, say what you will about Gargamel and the Grinch, and I think there's some comparisons to be made there, but the Grinch doesn't have an anatomical poster of a Smurf. And Gargamel pulls it down, and, let's learn about some Smurf anatomy.
I must find their weakness. Let's see. Color, blue. 3 apples high. Big hearts. Big hearts! That's it! I'll get them through their hearts.
Number 1, blue. Number 2, 3 apples high. Number 3, enlarged hearts.
There's nothing else you need to know about a Smurf.
No bones.
No known allergies.
No sexual organs that we're aware of.
No central nervous system.
Just 3 apples of height and a large heart.
So 2 things here. Heart clearly equals penis.
Yep.
And 3 apples high?
Yes.
Those are some giant mushrooms those Smurfs are living under.
Yeah.
3 apples high is much taller than I thought a Smurf was.
I agree.
A Belgian forest has many mysteries, including its enormous mushrooms.
It's true. It's very true.
I was going to say maybe it was crab apples, but you know what? We're just going to go with the mysterious forest angle. I like that better.
I mean, we have to remember, too, apples are far and away GMO products at this point. So they were probably smaller in the 60s.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've actually heard more than one person in my family talk about how large apples are these days,
How
which
many,
is like a
how
weird
many
thing.
people in your family have talked about how big apples are?
No, there's no need to question that, Ben. We know that conversation happens quite a bit.
You know, I go to the grocery store, right? And people are like, geez, you see the size of this fucking apple? I can't even pick this thing up.
I'm
and then
the
like
same way.
the lady next to the guy, right? He's like, I'm sorry, what did you say? I was just trying to figure out where Smurfette came from. I mean, these are the hot button issues that people are talking about.
I'm at the deli counter and people are like, look at this fucking apple. It's so big. But 30 years ago, these apples weren't big. I'm like, motherfucker, we're at the deli counter. Throw that apple away. We're getting turkey.
I think the two of you are just so self-absorbed. You don't notice the people around you talking about these big issues.
No, I do. That's why I was just talking about it. People talking about apples and the Smurfs. So anyway.
Get apple woke, folks.
That's right. A ploke. Yeah, I like it.
A poke.
Wapple?
Wapple?
Woke apple?
I like Wapple. We're going to go with Wapple. I don't know what we're going for anymore. So Gargamel's plan
Wokentosh.
is he's going to make he's going to make a Smurfette. And he has a lot of ingredients that he uses. One of them was a little bit surprising.
This magical lump of blue clay will become the first female Smurf.
This is one of the things I love about cartoons. He just says a magical lump of blue clay, and you're like, yeah, that makes sense. Cool.
Where did you get that, Gargamel? How did you make that, Gargamel? Doesn't matter.
But the blue clay is only like 1/10 of the equation, right? And here's where Gargamel's issues with women come into play. The list of ingredients he uses to make Smurfette are as follows. A dash of sugar and spice, but nothing nice. A dram of crocodile tears. Half a pack of lies.
I loved that.
Well, because it's a deck of cards.
Yeah.
Chatter of a magpie. And a stone for a heart. So I think Gargamel has some lady issues.
This comes back up at the end of the episode.
It does.
It does.
Kind of.
He also drops the stone into the pot, and it makes the greatest fart noise ever.
That's true.
One that rivals the fart that I supposedly made a long time ago on this podcast.
That you definitely did make.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly. Allegedly.
No way to tell
Convicted.
now. So he creates life. Like let's not fuck around with this. This guy creates
magic.
life. And so the pot explodes, and then do you realize what this means? It means that he has seen Smurfette in the nude. And
that is correct.
He had to make little Smurfette clothes and put them on her, and it just.
I mean, he's a wizard, so it's possible that he readied the clothing and just like popped it up, like magicked it onto her body.
I thought you were going to say he's like a wizard with a thread and needle, and he just like fashioned those tiny clothes really quickly.
Also possible.
Mm-hmm.
I almost said alsable.
Affable.
We can all talk real good. So we don't see Smurfette yet, but you're like, oh man, what's she gonna look like? How's she gonna tempt the Smurfs? Well, we'll find out. So you go and you see the Smurfs, and there's a whole line of them, and most of them look the same. And this is where you get the first instance of the language. So this was the thing with the Smurfs right from the start, right? Like putting Smurf in place of words. Like instead of let's play Hungry Hungry Hippos, it would be like let's Smurf Smurfy Smurfy Smurpos. And like
not quite.
No, it's exactly like that. But here's the thing. I counted.
Oh,
I have statistics, not only for the amount of times the word Smurf comes up in all its contexts, between Smurf, Smurfing, Smurfette. I also counted the amount of times that Smurfing is listed as an action. So we're going to talk about that during the review portion. But I got some statistics, and they are pretty fucking wild. But
is this an over/under game we're going to play that I can fail at?
Oh
no!
But maybe it's a side game.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see how we feel. But let's whet the appetite.
So everybody take a direction and go Smurf them.
Smurf them. Say. They're fucking around. There's a lasso involved, and all of a sudden they hear crying. Specifically, Hefty hears crying.
I'm all alone, lost in a scary
bar is full of frightening noises. Ooh.
Hey!
Oh, you startled me.
So Smurfette she's sitting in the forest, and if you're familiar with Smurfette, and you're a swine if not, apparently, you usually see her. She's got blonde hair, she's got heels on, she's very glamorous. This Smurfette looks like Gargamel. Big nose. Well, Gargamel doesn't have like flowing black hair, but
he has black hair.
She looks like a female version of Gargamel.
Just blue.
Just blue, yeah. And
it's like someone blew Gargamel.
Well, apparently not.
Yeah. Oh.
Judging by his attitudes. And
what an incel.
Something weird happens almost right off the bat, right? So Hefty's like, hey, well, what's going on? He doesn't marvel that there's a female Smurf, but she starts a disturbing trend here. And, just listen.
You like what you see?
I don't know.
You will.
Oh.
What?
Oh. Right off the bat, it becomes apparent that Smurfette, well, I guess I don't know what the plan was. She's just trying to seduce them all?
I think she's just trying to disrupt their society enough to get them all captured or something.
Yeah, that's the plan in the end. I guess it's not clear how it progresses, as we'll see. But this was a weird line to have in the children's TV show.
Yeah, I was very upset at this line, but I was also very vindicated because when I picked, this is going back a bit, I picked Conan the Adventurer, and you guys gave me such shit for picking like the worst possible show I could pick. Just how it depicted other races, how it depicted women. Whew. Shaylin, I think this tops that choice. So as awful as that line was, I felt pretty good about it because now you're in the shit.
To be fair, I gave you shit because the Medusa was a man, and we know that that's not how it played out.
So here's the difference.
Okay.
Smurfette has been coached by Gargamel, who is very clearly anti-woman from the beginning, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
She's been coached to be like this as part of a plan. Later, it is the menfolk who embarrass themselves with their bad behavior. Her behavior was handed to her, and she was told to do these things.
But the writers handed the behavior to all of them.
That's true, but these are not human beings, and this is a fake culture. Mm-hmm. So
okay, but it's still representative of children.
They did not rewrite Greek mythology to make Smurfette sexy here, Dave. All right. They didn't.
Speaking of fake culture, you guys see these impeachment hearings? Anyway,
I can't believe it.
I will never tire of seeing pictures of Trump's notes that he writes to himself before speaking engagements.
Yes. So Hefty, and it's Hefty because he has like the mom tattoo on his arm. So you start to wonder who gave Hefty that tattoo.
Papa Smurf.
I guess he would have had to. No, maybe Brainy.
Artie, isn't there an artist one?
Yeah, but he's a painter. Just because you're like good at drawing doesn't mean you're smashing needles into people. Anyway.
Guess that's true.
So he carries Smurfette back to the village. And so they bring her to see Papa Smurf. And nobody's questioning why Smurfette exists or like what she is. But they're really happy that Papa Smurf's like, hey, whatever, you can stay. And we get a little of this.
Oh boy, Smurfette's gonna stay. We're in for a treat.
You're in for a surprise.
Now,
Jesus Christ.
I took their initial reaction as the Smurfs were all incredibly horny for Smurfette.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Not necessarily the case, as we find out in a second here, but like that's where the bar is. So Smurfette goes into what is now her house, and Gargamel calls her through her compact, and he's like, you gotta get the Smurfs. Like I made you, and I can break you, because she's literally made out of clay. So you could probably just step on her or something.
That's true.
So she knows she has to go through with whatever the fuck the plan is. She goes outside, and I think it's Handy is painting the house, or Painty.
Handy.
Is it Handy? I don't know. They all look the fucking same. And like she smashes him with a door, and she's like, "Hey, like let's fuck," and he doesn't want to. And then
no, just a Handy.
No, he doesn't even say that. He's not interested. Yeah. So then she goes and she sees Brainy and Goofball, and neither of them are particularly interested. So she says to herself, "Oh, I'm being too subtle. Maybe I'll throw a picnic."
Which is definitely a wrong read on the situation, but that's okay.
Well, no.
Because she's not smart.
Well, she's not smart. I think we can all agree with that. But like, whatever her plan is, it's not working. So she invites them all to a picnic, and these Smurfs, who 35 seconds earlier were so fucking horny for this girl, none of them want to go to the picnic. They're all busy. The invite makes its way to Papa Smurf, who looks at it and dismissively throws it in the air.
He's a busy Smurf.
I love how they're depicting Smurfette here. Like, first, she's just a sex object for these horny Smurfs who I don't know how they procreate, by the way.
Asexually.
Asexually. They just mitosis.
Yep.
They just split.
They hatch out of mushrooms.
They live in a village of penis tips, by the way. Like,
yes,
their whole, it's just disturbing as fuck. But, so the way they depict her is a sex object and also like a wily Jezebel.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, what a great depiction of women. And then she's going through and they have a great depiction of men too. They're like incredibly horny and then they're completely stupid and oblivious to like things going around on them. So like it's just I could not sympathize with anybody at this point.
I sympathize with the cat.
Do you remember?
I do too.
When Looney Tunes introduced that female character that didn't like the Roadrunner, Wily Jezebel?
I do, yeah. I mean, she was the sexy coyote.
Yeah.
Lots
of lipstick. So there's a lot going on here, and it's very confusing. And
Acme Red Rockets.
Ew.
So we go to the picnic, and you know what I'm going to say about the picnic? It looks fucking shitty. She's got one piece of cake, a pitcher, and a bottle of ketchup, and that's what's on the blanket. That looks like a bad picnic.
I agree with you. It looked like a bad picnic, but in Smurfette's defense, she's a lump of clay with a rock inside of her.
That's true.
Who's only existed for like an hour.
But you could kind of start to feel her pangs of regret, or like she doesn't know who she is. She starts to doubt her femininity. It's very sad.
I wonder why they aren't coming.
So the only Smurf that shows up is Jokey. Shaylin, I'm looking to you for these names.
It's Jokey.
It is Jokey.
Practicky. And so he brings her a box that blows up in her face. So she decides, okay, like I can't.
He's a nice guy.
I can't tempt these Smurfs.
Did you see the Joaquin Phoenix movie Jokey? Where he plays the Jokey the Smurf.
He's blue. He wore a white hat.
It was awesome.
He shot Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Batting her eyelashes didn't work. Inviting these guys to a picnic didn't work. So now she needs to get direct. So she goes to see Greedy, who is working at the dam. And Greedy's not terribly psyched to see her. So Smurfette throws all pretense out the window. And she's just... She gets really forward with Greedy. This is something else.
But first, show me how that works.
Hey, don't! You could flood everything!
Oh, just one little teeny weeny bull. What could happen?
Literally the exact thing that you want to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Flood the village.
She just wants one pull.
Oh. I didn't know where you're going with that, Shaylin.
She wants things to happen, all right.
One little pull.
So she struggles with Greedy, and she lets the dam loose. And now, so Smurfette has failed as a seductress, right? So she's no Sharon Stone. She's failed as a picnic cook, so she's no Alton Brown. And now she has failed as a spy because she readily admits here that she's done this on purpose.
Hey, you're doing this on purpose!
Yes, and you sure aren't helping any.
Like,
it was weird because this episode was penned by John le Carre.
Yeah.
The Smurf who came in from the cold.
Tinker Tailor Smurfer Smurf.
The Smurf of Panama.
She falls into the dam and she's drowning in like the river or whatever. And the Smurfs save her and Greedy closes the dam. So all is well. We go to commercial. We come back. They're at a literal trial. Like, Papa Smurf is dressed up like a judge.
It's not just a literal trial. It looks like a witch trial. She's in a
Yeah.
cart.
Like, they're standing there with fucking halberds. Like, they have weapons.
At first, I thought they were going to fling her. Like, I thought that was a catapult at first. Like, at a glance, I was like, oh my God, they're going to launch her out of the penis village where they live. Like, this is, like, a woman on trial. What an awful, awful portrayal of Smurfs.
So, Dave, I agree with you because it's like, as we have discussed, the Smurfs are a society built on kindness and sharing, right? So, like, had they had these kind of trials before? Like, who were the bad boy Smurfs, Shaylin?
Greedy Smurf,
Okay.
for sure. Jokey Smurf got in trouble a lot.
Is there a greedy? Oh, that's right. He's the guy in the chef's hat.
Yeah.
And he's greedy. Okay.
Is a grouchy or a grumpy Smurf?
Grouchy.
Yeah.
Is there like ice Smurf?
No.
No.
But
he would definitely be on trial for evil.
These tools though, like maybe it's an explanation as to why they don't have any other Smurfettes. Like they keep just casting these Smurfettes out of their society because they don't meet their standards.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're really reading into this, Dave.
I am reading into this.
Do you know what I liked about this trial scene? So they show Smurfette crying.
Mm-hmm.
And they pan across the jury box. And it's like multiplicity because every Smurf just looked the same. It was like they had 12 Smurfs, just like all of them are just clones of the other. They didn't even bother to draw like a mustache in anybody. It made me laugh. So Smurfette's like, oh no, Gargamel made me do it. And everybody's crying and they're sad, except for Hefty.
She can't smurf us and get away with it.
That's right. Can't Smurf us.
Damn straight, Hefty.
Just accept it, Hefty.
Yeah. He's mad. He's shadow boxing. It's very strange. So she does successfully play on their heartstrings here. And they're like, well, this sucks. And Papa Smurf comes in with some Papa Smurf words of wisdom.
Gargamel created you to smurf us. It's not your fault.
Again, like, I don't know how you could read this any other way than what it is, but Smurfette says, you've been so kind to me in the 6 hours that I was with you, and you mostly shunned me. I want to be a real Smurf. And the Smurfs who they were so excited that she was there, now they feel a little bit differently. Wild swings.
Impossible.
Not in a million Smurfs.
Unthinkable.
No one's ever become a Smurf before.
I just wanted one of the Smurfs to call her like an abomination. You know what I mean? Like an affront to God.
Yeah, that would have been good.
But they don't. Like, it's very strange. Like, they're happy that she's there, but they don't want her to be a full-fledged member of society. Just not a very female-friendly kind of society.
That is true.
Be in that mushroom, bear Smurfed in the kitchen, cooking dinner. Like that's how they want their Smurfettes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not the way it should be. At least that's how I feel. But anyway, so their solution to this is they forgive her. And her penance is that they're gonna like reenact the movie She's All That with her, right? Like they're gonna take that zero and turn her into a hero.
Heck yeah!
Right, they're gonna take off those glasses and undo that ponytail, and she's gonna be gorgeous.
It's pretty much. So Papa Smurf grabs her by the elbow, leads her to his cabin, and shuts the door behind them. And then Brainy starts yelling about Smurfing.
Off-putting at best.
At best. Now, he does blast her with magic, and he fills her with things like Venus in moonbeams.
So lady stuff.
Yeah, like good lady stuff.
The good lady stuff, not the crocodile tears.
Men are from Mars, women from Venus, moonbeams or moon blood, just to make her more feminine. Like, yeah, this is fucking nuts.
Yeah, and Venus, of course, being the popular leg raiser. So, I mean,
right.
It all makes sense. Product placement where you can get it. But he brings her outside. He introduces her to the Smurfs, and shit goes bananas here.
Hello, Smurfs. I will now introduce the new and improved Smurfette.
Hello, boy.
So she comes out, and now this is Smurfette, right? Like, she's buxom, She's got the blonde hair. She's got like a lace doily for a dress. And now the Smurfs are freaking out. So they leave. They come back with flowers and stuff. And it turns into like a Lord of the Flies society.
It's
like
so scary.
Immediately. Goofball has a box again. And Brainy tries to save the day. It doesn't quite go so well.
No, so it'll kablooey right in your face.
Smurf fiesta there.
You certainly don't want that kablooing in your face. So then, like, literally, like, they're fighting for her affection, and we get into this big catastrophic food fight, right? The Smurf society is falling apart at the seams. And what
because of a woman.
Exactly.
Like, women ruin everything. Yeah.
As Burgess Meredith told us in Rocky, women weaken the knees, and they got to dig for Smurf berries. So I don't know. I see where they're coming from, but Papa Smurf, he's seeing his society tear each other apart. You know, there's Smurf corpses all over the ground. What kind of sage advice does he offer up, you may ask?
I know I finally look like a Smurfette, Papa Smurf, but I sure don't feel like one.
I'm afraid you'll have to manage that part on your own.
I will? But how?
You'll Smurf what to do when the time comes, Smurfette. Bye-bye.
He sends her back to the cabin to freshen up.
Fuck you, Smurfette. Figure your own shit out.
Yeah, go powder your nose.
I gave you the Venus. What else do you want from me?
Go put on your face, little lady.
So she
Fucking Papa Smurf.
So she goes back to the house. Gargamel calls her up and he's like, "Hey, you look different." And because he's smart and he understands. And then he's like, "You know what? I have an idea. You should throw the Smurfs a surprise party at the big oak tree." And Smurfette, because again, not smart. It's like, "Oh, that's a great idea, Gargamel. I don't remember what your motivations were, but that's a great idea." So she climbs out of her window and she's standing on her roof and she gives this invitation.
Are you Smurfing with us, Smurfette?
As soon as I pick out just the right dress for the surprise, Papa Smurf.
Oh boy. This is... So she's no longer a, like, wily Jezebel. You know, a wily coyote Jezebel. She is now a bimbo.
That's correct.
Like, that's, you know, those are the two women that that Smurfs are depicting here. You're either conniving or you're an idiot if you're a lady. And then my second point is, what do you think Papa Smurf means by smurfing with us, Smurfette?
I mean,
what's the smurfing mean?
I
Partying?
think you could ask that anytime they say smurfing. I mean,
Yeah.
The obvious answer is to poke, but
I thought felching.
oh god,
Oh.
Jesus!
What? What?
Good God!
You jumped right to that, huh?
I actually wrote it down.
It's like the polar plunge. You know,
Yeah.
you can't ease into these things. Well, I mean, it's apparent what we think smurfing is, but if there was any doubt what the cartoon is actually trying to tell you, I'm going to play one more clip that's going to put all these doubts to rest.
Oh, this one's too plain. I'll save that for tonight.
So she's going through a closet and she pulls out like this teddy and she just says, "I'll save it for tonight."
That is not what happened. She says that a dress is too plain and then puts it back in the closet.
And then she said,
No.
"I will save it for tonight."
But it's not
And
like
then
a
she was
teddy.
like, waiting for tonight. Oh, when you'll be smurfing my Smurf. Smurfing for Smurfs. Whoa.
So Smurfette is, she's getting dolled up and the Smurfs are running around, and Gargamel, he's setting up a cat trap, and there's not much to this, except I like the way that he said a certain word.
Bring me that camouflage.
Camouflage.
The camouflage.
When my mom and stepdad got married, we were living in half of a house and it had a loft, and there were squirrels up in the loft. So my stepdad got a trap that looked a lot like this cat trap or whatever to catch the squirrels in the loft. And then they got air rifled. So, you know, you can kind of see the threads of Gargamel's plan here is what I'm getting at.
Because he's evil, see?
Yeah, you were triggered, is what you're saying.
You know, at #1 bestseller, can't be wrong.
Yeah.
So the Smurfs follow a red carpet directly into the trap. because they're not smart either. Yeah,
That's definitely true.
They see it laid out. They go right into the box. And
they're blue, they're 3 apples high, and they have big hearts, but there's no brain in there.
because it's the heart has taken up the area where the brain would be.
Exactly.
So they're in it. They assume Smurfette is responsible, which is actually true. And they sum up my feelings on Smurfette here.
Told you! I hate the Smurfette.
Me too. And then I remembered that Gargamel wanted to eat the Smurfs. This came up fairly routinely. I feel like it's like a Grimm's fairy tales thing, right? Like, they're always looking to eat things. What I was not expecting per se was like the many like recipes that he goes into. This is a little long, but it's worth it.
Tonight, Azrael, we shall feast. Yes, we'll cook them in honey and eat them as snacks. No, that won't do. No, we'll have Smurfs on a stick. No. Perfect. We'll dine on soup a la Smurf.
This begs the question. If you were going to eat a Smurf, how would you do it?
The way that Bubba Smurf told us.
Who?
Bubba?
Who the hell is Bubba Smurf?
Oh, you made me lose the name of the movie.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, we just shit all over your joke. Sorry.
Smurf.
Do you want to start that again?
Keep going.
Smurf Scampy. Fried Smurf.
It paid off.
It all fits.
Yeah, it works.
This is inspiration.
I would have a Smurf, just like a nice peanut butter and Smurf sandwich. Nothing too fancy. Just two slices of white Smurfs, and a nice spread of peanut Smurfer and some Smurfy.
I'd go with a braised Smurf with a Smurf berry glaze. Classy.
I bet you would.
Classy.
Yeah.
I like Smurf Wellington.
Can I just say here, Gargamel, he's living the life. Like, he just walks around in his pajamas and slippers all day.
He's a wizard.
Knows magic. Yeah. Yeah. And he's got, like, this loyal-ass cat. Like, this guy is living the life.
Except there's just happiness all around him.
That's true, and he hates it. But, like, I want to be Gargamel because he's living his best life.
Okay.
Hashtag YOLO. But I agree. He's living large. He's a hunter, lives off the land.
That's right.
We see Smurfette, and she comes in and she's like, "Oh shit, what happened? This didn't go the way I thought it would." And Papa Smurf shows up in a thought cloud, and he's like, "You have to Smurf it out, Smurfette.
Use the Smurf.
And then all of a sudden, a Smurf shows up with an Elvis jumpsuit, a Lone Ranger mask, and the black lung.
You didn't get all of us, Gargamel.
Who could this mysterious Smurf be?
Who could it be?
Now, literally nobody knows, because even Papa Smurf is like, "Hey, there's another Smurf outside." This black lung Smurf is amazingly nimble and swashbuckly, and frees the Smurfs, right? So they deem it the lone Smurf. Gargamel and Azrael follow the lone Smurf up a tree, thinking that they will corner the Smurf in the tree. No, not the case.
The lone Smurf figures out how to slide down the inside of the tree.
Right.
To escape.
Like, because it's like a Keebler elf situation.
Exactly.
Like. Yeah.
Enchanted forest.
So Gargamel and Azrael, they fall out of the tree. They're all fucked up. And the Smurfs celebrate this by completely forgetting how to talk. This is amazing.
Gee, thanks, Lone Smurf. Boy, you sure showed Gargamel.
But who is Lone Smurf?
Gargamel.
Gargamel, Lone Smurf.
Who whiz?
It just sounds like they're from Downton Abbey. Like, oh my, scandal. My goodness.
Gargamel.
It is Belgium, after all.
Gargamel.
What is the weekend?
I say, Azrael is trying to catch us again.
So Lone Smurf pulls off the costume and is revealed to be Smurfette, who's into cosplay and like RP, I guess, and sick fuck. So they're all hanging out.
Sick Smurf.
And like it seems like all is well. And here Papa Smurf gives us a clue as to the true nature of smurfing.
But first, we've got to smurf Gargamel the way he smurfed us. Now, here's one.
Now, from the rest of the episode, you can intuit that they're just going to go and like assault Gargamel,
Right.
Yeah.
in an uncomfortable place. But no, as it turns out, smurfing is just punking because
With this particular usage.
with this particular usage, and what this smurfing is, Kutcher would have loved it, and the rest of his crew, but definitely Kutcher worthy.
Oh, I'm so lost and alone. Oh, somebody help me.
Oh no! We've been smurfed!
Gargamel picks up on this immediately. One, where did the Smurfs get this woman? Did they make her out of magic?
Yes.
So they, like,
Holga.
You say that so confidently.
She comes up in other episodes. She was created by Papa Smurf.
oh,
Okay.
well, where does she go when she's not doing this?
Unknown.
Huh. That's troubling.
That's Holga.
Lives in a massive penis house.
So this was not a new character
She was
living
new.
in a penis house.
She was new. It was like later seasons. She comes up and like tells Gargamel what to do.
Okay. So Gargamel, like, he picks up on this immediately, and he's sprinting away from her. So that's the end of Gargamel and Azrael. You see the village one more time. Everyone's happy, even grumpy or cranky, angry. He puts a heart. Grouchy. He puts a heart on the house, showing that he loves Smurfette, and all is well. You know, you get 9 more years of this village of Smurfs just salivating over this one female, and that's the way it is.
She alternates between loving it and being completely oblivious to it.
Yeah. Does she ever, like, I'm not going to say get with because that's juvenile, but does she like marry a Smurf at any point, or is it just?
I remember there being like a Valentine's episode where she goes on a date with several Smurfs to narrow down which Smurf she's going to go on the date with.
Like the Bachelorette.
Which Smurf she's gonna smurf?
Yeah.
The Smurfalorette, if you will.
Yes.
But that's the Smurfs. Now, before we rate it, I promised you some math. And, you know, let's do a very quick over-under here. This isn't the game. This isn't official, like, for stats. But, so if you take out the song and the end credits, you have 20 minutes and 30 seconds of runtime here. How many times is the word Smurf said?
434.
Someone's not taking this seriously.
500.
So nobody's taking this seriously.
17.
I'm going to say 75.
Okay. Do you want to give a more realistic guess, Shaylin?
20 minutes of runtime. 42 times, Ben.
110 times. Now that's 110 that's visible. Or I'm sorry, that's audible. There's at least 5 more in the background in murmuring, but I didn't count those because you can't make them out. Now, that comes out to be the word Smurf is said every 11.18 seconds, or about 5.5 times per minute. Of that 110, how many of those are smurfing? Like, you know, like you are smurfing, whatever that may be.
Like a smurf as a verb.
Yes.
34.
34. Okay.
What was the final number? Sorry.
110.
110. I want to say like 50%. So like 55.
Answer is 27, which works out to there is a smurfing approximately every 45 seconds.
God, I
Wow.
wish that were the case.
Like, I didn't do the math of, you know, if the word Smurf said 1 second to say, it takes up X amount of the episode, but it's got to be like almost 10% of the episode is just spent on the word Smurf.
Delightful.
I find that alarming.
What a gig though. Like, as a writer, all you have to do is write the word Smurf a bunch. And that's how it lasted for 9 seasons.
Yeah. Only that.
Yeah. It wasn't popular at all. They were just like, hey, this is easy.
They're paying us for this. So let's rate it. Show it to a kid. Yes or no?
Sure. Dave,
Okay.
would you?
This episode, no. Possibly other Smurfs. This was just too. Not to sound too woke here, but like the depiction of women and the depiction of Smurfs, like, no, the Smurfs deserve better than this.
See,
they need to be represented better.
For me, it's a clear yes, because I was a little unsure, because it's like, this is a little horny, but even though kids aren't going to get it, and then I was like, I watched Smurfs as a kid, and I ended up okay, you know? So,
sure.
It's a good benchmark to clear.
Just live and let live. And let's go 1 to 5 ooey gooey Smurfings.
I'm going to give this 2 wet, juicy Smurfings. Like, it just... There were some funny things. Just nice to get back into the Smurf world. Haven't been there for a while, but again, I just I don't know. Just that doesn't stand the test of time for me.
I give it a 2.5. It's a classic. It is memorable, and this particular episode is something that people who are into pop culture should know about. Smurfette's origin story.
Swine.
You heard me.
Learn it or die. I'm going to go...
Uninitiated idiots.
I'm going to go with 3 ooey gooey Smurfings here. It's an interesting watch. It's very strange. It's... You can go... If you go into it like tabula rasa, you know, you take out of it what you want. It's like looking at a Rorschach painting. Clearly, we all have some issues here, but maybe you look at it and you go, oh, that's nice.
Sure.
There once were no women...
That's cute.
Yeah. And now there are, and it's a good, healthy working society. And that should be commended at least. So full disclosure here, as we go into this game, the way that this has always worked is if you pick the episode, you're responsible for the game. Now, in this case, I had an idea that I didn't come up with questions or anything, but I had an idea that I liked, and I floated it to Shaylin, who has now taken that ball and run with it. But I just want to be transparent because I feel like this is important.
Can you tell us the name that you came up with for this game?
Should we talk about the concept of the game first, or do you want me to just cold talk about the title?
I just want you to cold talk about the title.
So the title that I came up with was Les Liaisons Dangereuses Smurf.
Les Schrumpfs.
My title for this game is called We've Been Smurfed by Smurfette, which is a brainy Smurf quote.
It's not French.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. What's the concept?
So the concept of this game is we've taken famous movie quotes, and some of them you're definitely going to get because they're just too obvious not to. Mm-hmm. But I've Smurfed them. So
what?
You heard me. So I will read the quote.
Wow.
And you have to tell me the movie it originated from.
All right.
1 point each. And if you can name the year that the movie came out, then I will give you extra props, but no extra points. So, who wants to start?
I'll go. I'll Smurf.
All right. Carpe diem. Seize the Smurf boys. Make your Smurfs extraordinary.
That's the Dead Poets Smurf Society.
Well done, Dave.
And it was 1991.
89. Good try.
Ah, damn it.
Could also be the Dead Smurfette Society.
That is true. All right, Ben.
Yes.
When life gives you Smurfs, just say, fuck the Smurfs and bail.
When life gives you Smurfs, say fuck the Smurfs and bail. Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall. It was Lemons.
Oh, you picked a movie that I've never seen.
It's a Paul Rudd quote.
I was going to guess The Rock.
Go home and fuck the prom queen.
Go home and Smurf the prom queen.
I almost said you're the Smurf now, Smurf, but then I was like, you'll definitely get it.
What about the Rocket Man quote from The Rock? Jew, you're the Rocket Smurf. There we go.
All right, Dave. The law says you cannot Smurf, but I think I see a lot of lawbreakers up in this house tonight.
That is Magic Mike.
Well done, Dave.
And that is 2013?
2012.
Ah, damn it.
Hey, Ben.
What up?
You gonna eat your
C'est la
Smurfs?
la breakers.
Am I going to eat my Smurfs?
You gonna eat your Smurfs?
The Sandlot.
Napoleon Dynamite.
The way you said that, like that was the most obvious thing in the world. Well, it wasn't.
You're gonna eat your tots is something that I say around the house routinely. I'm amazed you didn't get that.
You know,
Come on, Ben.
when I'm walking around the house, I always hear three things, right? Like one of them is Shaylin struggling to pick up an apple. And then she's talking about like, man, can you believe these people don't know Smurfette? And then the final
These
thing
fucking
is
morons.
just like her just muttering, "You're going to eat your tots." That's life. Anyway,
Just throwing things and screaming about tots. I like this. I like this picture you're painting.
All right, Dave. I think it's your turn, right?
It is.
Hell is a teenage Smurf.
Oh man. 16 candles.
Jennifer's body.
well, of course.
Oh, that one. Yes, yes.
They range from easy to hard, okay?
So when you said that these would be like very obvious, what you meant was
I said
that was
some
a lie.
of them would be. All right, Ben.
Is that the Diablo Cody written movie?
Yes.
Okay.
You're going to smurf a bigger Smurf.
You're going to Smurf a bigger Smurf, or is it we're going to Smurf a bigger Smurf?
The proper quote or the one that gets colloquially quoted?
Well, it's Jaws
Yes.
from 1976.
5. But
Damn it. I was so sure. Why are we a year off on these?
I don't know, but
I
it's
don't know.
Our clocks are really calibrated wrong. Must be daylight savings.
It's probably the upcoming winter solstice.
All right, Smurf. I'm ready for my smurfing.
I don't know. I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeVille.
That is correct.
Oh, that's what.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Which is Sunset Boulevard?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, Ben.
Stop.
Human sacrifice. Dogs and cats living together. Mass smurfing.
Smurf Busters.
Excellent.
Oh, 1984.
I actually didn't write the year down on this one.
Well, just assume I was correct.
Good job.
Yeah.
Great job, Ben.
I did it.
Do you want an easy one or a hard one, Dave?
What?
Give me a hard one.
Smurf.
Hold on. I'm really putting thought into this. I don't know. It's from Saving Private Ryan.
Citizen Kane. Rosebud.
Rosebud. Damn it. Very good.
All right, Ben.
Citizen Smurf.
You've smurfed me. Body and soul.
Oh, God. This is really bugging me. Sliver.
Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah.
Oh, was that from Northanger Abbey?
No.
The weird copy that you have, not the one that people have seen.
Still no.
Okay.
The search continues.
I guess I get the easy one now.
Just keep smurfing.
Finding Nemo.
Yes.
And that was 2005.
Hey, Ben.
Was it 2005?
No.
Damn it.
Okay.
You can't smurf the smurf.
You can't handle the truth.
Yes.
A Few Good Men.
Correct.
And the year was 1991.
92. How are you within 1 year? Again.
A Man Out of Time.
All right, Dave. You gotta smurf this one smurf. It'll change your life. I swear.
That's from, I think that's from Caligula?
No.
No.
It's from Garden State. You gotta listen to this one song.
Fuck that movie. That movie sucks.
Amen.
Am I alone here?
No.
I like the brother who played GameCube.
Quick story. I broke up with a girl just around college, and this movie had just come out, and we had seen it together. She fucking loved it, and she just associated with the Natalie Portman character here. So we're breaking up, and she goes, I was like, it was a tough breakup, and I was like, we'll still see each other around. She goes, oh, so it's like an ellipsis, which is a line that Natalie Portman gives Zach Braff in that movie. And I went, you know what? No, you're quoting Garden State see ya, and I never saw her again. I was so mad
This is a hard stop.
Yeah, she equated our relationship to like a line of dialogue from a crappy Zach Braff movie. Oh, I was so mad.
I started laughing immediately because my assumption was I broke up with a girl over Garden State, and I wasn't wrong.
Well, we were broken up because of other things, but the Garden State, just that nail in the coffin.
The nail in the coffin.
All right, Ben.
They're breaking up.
I have nipples, Smurf. Could you Smurf me?
Meet the Parents.
What year was it, Ben?
Meet the Parents would have been, 99?
In the year 2000.
Yes.
Huh.
Did you like lose a year of your life?
It sounds it.
Yeah.
My memory's not too good anymore, so maybe.
Dave, I'm the
It's all that
guy
fiber.
who does his Smurf. You must be the other guy.
Say that again. Sorry.
I'm the guy who does his Smurf. You must be the other guy.
Oh man, I'm drawing a blank here. I don't know.
Can I jump in for the steal?
Yes.
It's the Mad About You reboot.
No.
Oh no! Wait, no! It's the other Helen Hunt vehicle. It's As Good as He Gets.
It's The Departed, guys.
Oh, fine.
All
I think
right.
we're tied 4-4.
You're currently tied 4-4.
I'm gonna, because I have not been keeping score.
Smurfs? Where we're going, we don't need Smurfs.
UHF.
No.
No.
It's not Badgers, Ben.
Wow. Oh, the Mad About You reboot.
It's from Back to the Future.
Yes, I know.
Then why did you say UHF?
Because Badgers, we don't need the Badgers.
All right. For the tiebreaker, because you're both tied 4-4.
So do we both buzz in?
You buzz in.
What's your buzzing word, Ben?
Smurf.
Damn it! I was gonna say Smurf. We'll say Smurf,
Okay.
and they mean different things.
Yeah.
Shaylin.
It's an audio show.
Hold on 1 second.
How many of these did you write?
I have 30 of them.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's awesome. Good for you.
I told you I was having fun looking at this.
Well, while you search.
I'll Smurf what she's Smurfing.
Smurf.
Ben.
When Harry Met Sally.
Fuck.
When Smurfy met Smurfy.
All right, Dave, for the year.
1987.
1989.
Ah.
You know what's funny? I was going to say 88.
I want both of you to know that on this list of 30, one of them just says I have to return some videotapes, and I didn't actually turn anything to Smurf.
You should have done that one. A Smurfican Smurfo.
So thanks for playing. What we've got here is failure to Smurf.
I love the smell of Smurf in the morning.
May the Smurf be with you. Anyway.
Tomorrow is another Smurf.
So you can go anywhere with this.
Yeah, I like it.
Frankly, I don't give a Smurf.
Ooh, that's fun.
On to the Smurf bag. Hiya, turkeys. It's Thanksgiving time here in the States. Are there any Thanksgiving-themed cartoons or cartoon episodes that stand out for you? What about favorite Thanksgiving dishes? Turkey Lurkey Doo and Turkey Lurkey Fap. So, a two-parter. I'm trying to think. You get a lot of Halloween stuff, and there's a lot of Christmas stuff. There's not a ton of Thanksgiving cartoons.
There's a
Garfield
Charlie Brown
starts. Yeah, there's
Charlie Brown. That's a good default one.
Garfield's Christmas starts at Thanksgiving, doesn't it?
Isn't there just a Garfield Thanksgiving?
I don't know. Probably. I just know that all the Garfield specials make me cry. So
Yeah, because I think he makes like a turkey out of lasagna, and then he sends Nirmal to Abu Dhabi, and John's like, "I'm depressed."
Sounds legit. There's probably a Rugrats one because they have one for all the other holidays.
I don't want to just openly speculate. You know who I bet had a good Thanksgiving special? The Jetsons.
Let me stomp on the question and give different commentary related vaguely to Thanksgiving.
No, you would never do that.
You go in a different direction? Stop.
We were not a family that did Thanksgiving television specials.
Mm-hmm.
but we were an Alice's Restaurant family.
Nope, not interested.
And so every Thanksgiving for me includes listening to Alice's Restaurant in its entirety.
That sound, listeners, is the sound of Ben filling out his divorce papers.
Yeah.
Hey, we made it this long.
We had a good run. Dave, do you have any Thanksgiving cartoon specials that you recall? I'm literally doing some research here because I'm struggling.
Blank. There was the Simpsons Bart versus Thanksgiving.
Oh,
which
yeah,
stands out to me. Like Bart goes to like Skid Row in Springfield. Like he's in like a homeless shelter or soup kitchen or something like that. That one stood out to me, especially because it's like one of the like sadder Simpsons. Like there's like a lot of funny jokes and things, but like it's more like, so Bart goes away, he goes to the soup kitchen, some terrible things happen, and then he goes home and the family like just lays into him about like leaving the family and how terrible he is. Like it sucks. Like it's not like one of those like funny, like really funny, memorable Simpsons episodes, but it's memorable in the way that it's just like, oh, this is sad and heartbreaking.
Love those uplifting cartoons.
Like when he goes to France and he discovers like they're putting antifreeze in the wine.
Monsieur.
Yeah.
So I have found a list of some Thanksgiving cartoons. I haven't seen any of these, but seem worth calling out here. We have Thanksgiving in the Land of Oz. We have Pooh Corner Thanksgiving. And my favorite, Q*bert, Thanksgiving for the Memories.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I remember that distinctly.
Yeah, from 1983. Retold the story of the first Thanksgiving with the quirky tube-nosed creatures as pilgrims and natives. So I guess the other half of the question, what are your Thanksgiving dishes of choice?
Pie. Pumpkin pie. Squash pie. Cherry
Smurf pie.
Mincemeat pie. Smurf pie.
Pear pie.
I like it all. All the pie.
All the pie.
And
Dave?
Indian pudding.
Yeah, that's a good one. Dave?
So, listener, Shaylin is a very very giving person, and every Thanksgiving for a long time she's made me a pie. It's the Paradise Pumpkin Pie. It's a pumpkin pie layered on top of a thin layer of cheesecake on a graham cracker crust, and it is my favorite thing to eat at Thanksgiving. So, thank you, Shaylin, and thanks in advance.
Order
This
placed.
is a hint. Order placed.
So I'm going to cheat as usual and give two answers. I'm a stuffing guy. I like stuffing of all sorts.
Smurfing.
Corn Smurf smurfing, stovetop smurfing, inside bird smurfing. I love it all. And the other thing is, listeners will know because some of us talk about it constantly. Shaylin and I both come from broken homes, and Thanksgiving is always tough because we got to rotate, right? But the day after Thanksgiving, we always do a mini meal of our own at home. And a number of years ago, we came into a turkey fryer, an indoor turkey fryer. And so we brine the turkey, we put it in, 5 gallons of oil, we fry the fuck out of it, and it's so goddamn good.
It's so good.
It's moist. It is probably not good for you, but it is.
Don't care.
It is delicious, and that's what Thanksgiving is all about: is eating a lot of food and watching cartoons you don't remember.
Oh, do you remember the year that we used the fryer and we did wonton wrappers and we filled them with leftover turkey, leftover stuffing, and a little bit of cranberry sauce, and then we dipped them in gravy.
Yep,
it was like little Thanksgiving egg rolls.
Oh man, I'm sleeping over this year.
We also used that fryer to I think it was the same day we tried putting candy bars and wonton wrappers and stuff.
Didn't work.
Yeah, that one didn't work.
It was
out
a big
too
mess.
Well. Yeah.
Didn't you try to fry your Smurf, Ben?
Yeah, but the scalded.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Yeah. But it was delicious. Mm-hmm. My, I'm going to cheat here too. My favorite Thanksgiving thing is my dad makes turkey soup.
Oh, your dad's turkey soup rules.
It is so good. But what's terrible is that if you are in college and living at home like I did, and you have friends that stay over and get hammered with you the morning after, my dad gets up pretty fucking early to make this soup. And he makes it when he's making it, he's quite loud. He's just banging around this wooden spoon in this giant cauldron on the stove. I don't know. It's the only thing he cooks, but he's very loud about it, and it's the worst for hangovers. But once it's made, perfect.
Gotta make the soup, Davy.
You gotta make the soup, Davy.
And one more Thanksgiving hack for leftovers. If you have any leftover stuffing, spray down your waffle iron, throw it on there. Chris, that some bitch up. You're doing all right.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
Here's a nice thing to pair your turkey sandwiches with.
Yeah.
Get yourself a nice black cherry lambic, and it's just this nice cranberry tasting, fruity, fizzy drink that will help you wash down that delicious turkey sandwich.
Ooh, yeah.
I also discovered sake as a decent accompaniment for Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
So, light, airy. Shaylin's skeptical, but
it was fine.
She's obsessing over apples, so who the hell knows?
3 apples.
This apple's so big, can't pick it up. So thank you,
Smurf size.
Turkey Lurkey Fap. If you want to get in on the fun, email at watchbotspod.com. So I guess that's it. I mean, that's the Smurfs. We Smurfed the shit out of it, I feel like.
La 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 la.
I'm very Smurf.
I'm Smurfed out.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that Instagram. Jiffy at WatchBotsPod. Please subscribe, rate, review, iTunes, and all that good stuff. For Dave and Shaylin, this is Ben. Thank you for listening to another episode of WatchBots. And until next week, ask not what your Smurf can Smurf for you. Ask what you can Smurf for your Smurf. Anybody want to throw in an alt?
There's nothing to Smurf but Smurf itself.
Smurf softly and carry a big Smurf.
I have nothing better than that.
Bye.